Hey, so hello and welcome. We're on week 5 of It's All in the Balance. So we're going to reprise some, change some, add some, extend some of the movements we're familiar with. So a little bit of everything as we enter week 5. Okay, so we're going to start with our hands on our pelvis, and we'll have feet are hip distance apart, and the toes are pointing forward in line with the ankles and the heels. And then we're going to do figure of eights. So just see how that goes. Just get the hips moving initially. And then once you've got the hips going, if you focus a little bit more on how it feels in the feet. So where's the movement across the toes and the ball of the foot? Where's the movement around the heels and the side of the foot? Is it the same on the left to the right? How's the movement? Is it clunky? Is it smooth? What's your rhythm today? And kind of how does it feel on the right side of the foot compared to, sorry, the right foot compared to the left foot? So we're taking our focus down, even though we may be kind of, at least initially, focusing on the hip movement. So really, the movement we can see, or we can imagine, or we can feel is coming from the feet, and the hips and the shoulders just come along for the journey. So if the focus goes down, then that's more likely to happen if you really get into what's going on in the feet to get the stability there, and the movement there, and the flow there. Okay, we're just finding the ground, we're finding our feet, and we're changing where the weight goes. Simple as that. Okay, and pause. So we're going to sweep the arms up to lengthen. So if you feel like you can reach a little bit, then reach. You can keep the elbows bent slightly if that's more comfortable for the shoulders. And then from here, we're just going to bring the arms into cactus arms, palms face forward, and then lengthen. So we're going into lengthening the spine. We'll feel the sides of the rib cage rising, the belly going in, and then keeping to some extent that same extension as we bring the shoulder blades together and feel really stable, hopefully, in the upper chest, upper back, and we extend. So we feel the upper body now compared to what we did before, which was feet, and we're moving more less in a sort of less in a rhythmic movement really compared to the other. So this will feel like we have to use the muscles much more specifically to extend through the arms and to take the elbows wide. So next time the elbows are wide with the hands up position, then just start to twist and rotate side to side. So again, what you can do is if you soften the knees a little bit here, you can feel what's going on in the feet, you can feel what's going on in the knees, you can feel what's going on in the hips, and then you can feel what's going on in the shoulder. So everything's getting a little bit of movement, but some parts of the body are going to feel it more as we twist from side to side. Trying to find a little bit more space for the area between the armpits and the pelvis, waist area. Okay, and next time we're in center, arms stretched out to the side, palms down for a moment, and then let the arms go. So they can just relax in the shoulders for a moment. Okay, so now we've done a little bit of kind of sussing out where the body is and how it feels to extend, how it feels to move with rhythm. And then we're going to get going with our flying stalk kind of movement, which was kind of having as a sort of central movement. So next time you're ready, you're going to sweep the arms up, raising the knee and coming back down and just swapping sides. So as your arms float up, the knee floats up to where it's comfortable. We're just doing steps as steps come, so probably about hip distance apart rather than stepping wide like we did last week. each week we kind of play around with it slightly differently. Okay, so next time you sweep up, just pause. 1, 2. Bring the foot back down, second side. Slowly raising. 1, 2. Bring the foot down. Return to the first side. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Foot down and swap over. Second side. 1, 2, 3, 4. And down. First side. Pause for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Swap sides and pause for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and come down. So this time as we flow, we come up onto we raise the heel of one foot and the other foot as we sort of sweep the knee up. So sometimes we can go too far, fall forward, sometimes nothing very much happens. So you find your own kind of flowing up, raising the knee to wherever you're comfortable, and just raising the heel off the ground. So that's a bit more of a strengthening movement for the legs, while we're still trying to use flow to get that strength. The ball of the foot gets more contact. So we raise the foot, that works the back of the calf a little bit more strongly. So the flow is harder because there's work to be done. So one more, so you're equal, broadly on each side, and let's pause. Okay, so I think we're stalked out for now. So we've done the stalk, we've done the setup, we've lengthened, we've stabilized. So part of the doing this sort of movement will hopefully help us feel more prepared for a movement later on. But before that, we're going to do what we did last week with a slight variation. So, and a little bit of a slight change. So you can watch the first one. So I'm sweeping the arms up. I'm folding forward to get the top body to kind of flow over the bottom body. I've got my knees bent so I can really relax the upper body, extending through the lower back as well as getting the weight from the skull. I'll swing my arms here and then I'll be stepping forward with the hands until I come into, I'm going to come into hands and knees and go back. We're going to come into, take hands forward into, you might think of it as a dog, but with its very bent knees, it tends to be called hare. And then we're going to do another movement. We're going to do them one at a time. You might need to take the arms even further forward to come up into plank and take the heels back. So just adjust there. But each time we'll be padding back between those to get the heels down, to float back up, and to rest the arms again. So hopefully you got a picture of that so we can do that together. So sweeping the arms up, lengthening for a second, floating the arms down either side or in front of you. So top body folds over bottom body, head heavy, knees really bent, swing the arms, and then take the hands forward so you're coming onto your knees ultimately. Find that hands and knees position, pause for a moment, and then pick up the knees, and then get the hands to work the way back to the feet, get the heels down, bum stays down or goes down further, so you can lift the arms and float them up. Let them come back down for a moment. Okay, so we're going to do the hair movement next time when we go down. So we reach up, we fold forward, top body over bottom body, let the arms swing, pad the hands forward, keep the knees bent, Bum goes up, knees stay bent. Knees are kind of at heel position, line with your heel or your ankle kind of idea. You pause for a second and then you just pad the hands back. Heels come down, bum goes down, and we float ourselves back up, taking the arms with us, bring them back down by a side, and we pause. Okay, so sweeping the arms up. This time we're going to go into plank. Fold top body over bottom body, knees bent, head heavy, and relax upper body. Let arms swing for a moment. Take the hands forward, 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 forward into plank. So the shoulders are over the heels. Bum's not too high, not too low. Heels go back. Pause for a second. Okay, bend the knees and then see if you can pad the hands back. Heels down, bum down, and raise yourself back up. And arms down to just pause. So we're going to do the same, but in reverse and pause a little bit longer. So hopefully you've managed to do all of those three. If there's one or two that you feel you need, one or you need to change, then just change it. Just keep to the original. Yeah, do what will be workable for your shoulders. If there's any sort of issues for shoulders, you just need to take care with that because it's quite a lot of work there. Okay, so we're going to extend the arms up. Are you coming with me? We're going to fold forward, top body over bottom body, neck beat, bent knees, arms swing side to side for a moment, head heavy, crown of the head down. Going to come all the way into plank, so we're doing this in reverse. So find your way forward into plank, shoulders over arms, heels back. And pause for the 1, 2, 3, 4. Bend the knees, come back. Heels down, bum down, and float your way back up. Pause for a second with arms by your side. Float the arms up. Fold forward. Head heavy, knees bent as you swing the arms. This time it's going to be into hare, kind of down dog with knees bent, taking the hands forward, maybe not quite so far. Forward, bum goes back, knees bend, really lengthening through the tail end of the spine, feeling like you lengthen through both sides. We paused here long enough, keeping your knees off the floor if you can, then padding back from there, heels down, bum down, push down through the feet and extend. Arms back. So if all you want to do is fold forward and come back up, that's fine. That's a perfectly good option. This final one is just for all fours, so sweeping the arms up, folding forward, head heavy, arms swing, hands pad forward until we find a way actually onto our knees and shoulders are over wrists. Well done. Okay, we're going to lift the knees first if you can do it that way, and then hands pad back until you get your heels down, bum down. I'm disappearing off the edge of the world here, aren't I? Arms come up, arms float back down, and our work is done. So shake your way through to the front of the mat. So we're at the back, now we're at the front. And just lengthen for a moment. So just take your arms up, whether your elbows are bent and your hands are widening your shoulders, or whether you're just shoulder level. For the whole of the arms and arms straight, up to you. Let them come down and swing for a moment just to release again. So we've lengthened and we've released, hopefully, in the shoulders. So we're going to do the movement we've done a couple of weeks ago, which is the coming on. I'm going to step back, bend the knee, extend the arms up, take the arms into cactus, fold forward, lift the back leg off the floor, and return to the ground. You'll know when we do it. I think we'll be okay without me showing you. So let's go for this. So we just let the arms swing, step back with one leg so the heel touches the floor, but we've got hips facing forward, we've got the front knee bent, remember. We sweep the arms up. We take the elbows out to the side into cactus arms. Okay, you still with me? You fold forward from the hips and you raise your back foot off the ground. Keep the front knee bent as much as you need to give you stability. Take that foot back to the ground. Once you've landed, extend through the arms, but keeping that front knee bent. Let the arms come forward and step forward. Okay. Excuse me. So you can miss anything out of that just doesn't work for you. You don't have to hold it for so long. You can just sort of come onto your tiptoe and just kind of keep tapping the toes down if you don't feel comfortable lifting the leg at all, the back leg. Okay, so just let's swing the arms, going to step back with the other leg. So when you're ready, stepping back and landing, get that front knee bent, extend through the arms so the belly will kind of come in, the whole hugging system will work hopefully through the core, keeping that hugging through the center. Take the elbows out to the side so you're stable between your shoulder blades here. We fold forward from the hips, and from there we raise the back leg, short distance, big distance, tapping, whatever. We pause for a second. We refine the ground, we get the heel down, keep the front knee bent, we extend through the arms, and then we let the arms swing and we come forward. Okay, going to repeat that again on each side, because sometimes it just kind of, you just get a bit disorientated. So the second time, hopefully you'll feel a little bit more kind of into this, you know what you're doing, you have done it before. So let the arms sway forward and back, step back on your first side to wherever you land, front knees bent, facing forward with the hips. Extend the arms up, belly comes in for support, and you get that whole hugging system operational, hopefully, through the core. From here, just let the arms come out to the side, so shoulder blades feel like they're coming together and chest is opening, feeling stable. Fold forward to wherever you fold forward, and hop off that back foot if you can. Pause for a moment, pause for a moment, pause for a moment. Back foot finds the ground, heel finds the ground, extend, front knee still bent, arms rock forward and back, stepping forward, finding your feet, let the shoulders relax. Second time, second side, arms swing, step back, bend from knee, pelvis, hips pointing forward. Extend the arms up, engage the core. Keep that engagement, elbows out to side, shoulder blades together. Upper body now feels stable. Bending from the hips and raising that back leg if you can. Pause for a second, pause for a second. Find the floor with the toes, find the floor with the heel, extend the arms up, front knee still bent. Let the arms swing, find your way to the front. Okay, so we've done this before, but I was hoping to add a little bit more challenge with the pause. So we're adding pauses, I might be going slower sometimes. We might just be using the rhythm as we used for the first few weeks. So we're using a multiple of options to try and get the balance work more stable, a little bit stronger, and a little bit more challenging. So we're going to come onto all fours. So find your way back to the ground. And hopefully you'll feel fairly strong through the shoulders and the arms, unless I've worn you out. And you'll feel something in the belly from the core, from the work that we've done. So if you extend one leg out, toes touch the ground, and then you hop that toe over the other toe, so you feel like you get a little bit of length from the hips. I'm taking my right foot over my left, and I'm extending into the heel to just get a little bit of length from the hip all the way down that outer side of the leg. I'm hopping it back and bringing it back in line. Okay, and then extending the other one, as if I'm going to do plank, but we're not. And then I'm hopping that over just so I feel something slightly lengthening, to say, from this kind of area from hit the pelvis. I'm going to fall over if I do that too much. Pushing back into the heel, then coming back to all fours. Okay, so toes tucked under if they weren't tucked under before. Bum goes back, lengthen through your hands. So you feel length through your lower back, and then take both hands over to the left and head closer to the ground, but just slightly hovering. So you're getting a feeling, if you're going to the left, you're going to get much of a feeling of extension through the right side of the body, opening up that side, breathing into that side for a moment, and then pad the hands to center for a moment before going over to your right side with your hands sitting back, head hovers from the ground, and you breathe into that left side of the body. So you get a little bit more length, a little bit more feeling down that side. Add the hands back into center. Find yourself back into all fours by bringing your hands below your shoulders, wrists below your shoulders. And then tuck the toes now for a moment. So we're all back into all fours position. So what we're going to do is we're going to extend leg and opposite arm like we've been doing before, but I've got a slightly different variation for us. So you extend in, and from here, you're just going to tap the fingertips and the toes to the ground of that extended leg and bring them back up. Tap, bring them back up. So you don't bend the arm of that supporting hand. You keep that straight. So you're trying to keep stable through the core and through the shoulders as we tap toes and fingers a few times. Try and come back broadly into position. Okay, next time we can come back onto all fours. Well done. Really breather if you need to shake out wrists or fists and open. Just get a little bit more support for that. So we're doing the second side here. So finding that extension through the hand and through the heel. Feel the core support, feel the shoulder support, and then tap, tap, tap. So just doing that a few times so we kind of get into position, and then we allow ourselves to dip through the toes and the fingers to touch the ground. It means we stay up a little bit longer. It means we just keep finding that support if we can through the core and through the chest and the upper back. Well done. Okay, and back onto all fours. Okay, well, we've done all that work on all fours, so we can come on to our back. But I'm going to show you what we're going to do. So if you want to just sit there for a moment, just so I can show you what we're doing. So we will do going side to side, but we'll have our knees out and our big toes touching and going side to side. And then we'll cross the ankles, take the arms up towards the sky, and we'll rock forward. We'll take the unlock the ankles and see if we can kind of sit up. You can take your hands under there, you can take them to here. You can just see if you can bring the chest forward. You keep the feet much lower, and then we'll go back. If you don't like the rocking, then you're just going to need to just get yourself up and come into position. You can always keep one heel down and just do a few kicks. There's a number of options there, but for now, come onto your back and land for a moment. So, we've been mainly on the feet, and then we've been the last few minutes on hands and knees. So all of that is creating some activation, some strength. So we'll land differently as we come onto our back. But we have done enough work for us to feel like we want to let go at this point. So there'll be some weight going through the pelvis, weight going through the upper back and the arms, particularly maybe through the feet. Okay, so picking the feet off the floor, and then taking the knees out to the side and big toes touching, and then just rock side to side without falling over. Helpful to keep the belly in towards the spine if you can, so the lower back is largely down or completely down, so you're saving your lower back from too much strain. So it's just knees wide, toes touching, particularly mainly the big toe, but maybe all the toes. And then take the arms up and continue to do that. So it becomes a little bit more difficult to float from side to side. So the arms aren't going with you. They might go slightly opposite, but they're not going very far. Just giving you both stability, but also a challenge because you haven't got the arms on the ground. Okay, brilliant. Okay, rest the feet down for a moment, rest the arms down for a moment. Take a breath there, let the weight return to the ground. Try and have the back of the neck long so that feels like the chin's coming more towards the chest rather than heading up to the sky. Okay, so picking the feet off the floor again, this time crossing the ankles, taking the arms up towards the sky, bum off the floor will help you then bring yourself up, unlock the ankles. So now we've got feet in alignment and we've kind of arrived where we've arrived. Take the feet a bit lower, take the chest a little bit further forward if you can. You might be on your sitting bones, you might not. You can hold on if you wish to, hold on if you wish to, or just keep that length. So if you take the arms a little bit higher, then you'll get a little bit more support with lengthening there. You've done really well. You're going to come back and cross the ankles, but just let the lower back get to the ground. So I'm going to try that one more time, and then we're done there. Okay, so extend the arms up, lift the bum up a little bit off the ground, lower back off the ground. So head forward and find whatever's going to be your position here. So I've unlocked the ankles so the feet are in line with the knees, hip distance apart. Trying to sit up a little bit more, take my arms a little bit higher, keep my legs wherever I like. Might want to take hands to help me in some way. Keep the arms forwards, absolutely great. Okay, from there, cross the ankles, just sit up. If you need to go onto your back again, up onto the side, that's fine. We're not staying here, we're just using this as a transition to come back to standing. So find your way to standing position. Okay. So see how we are in standing. So we've done a little bit which requires support from the core, which can feel like the lower back's doing too much work. So just picking the knees up for a moment without having to think about timing or anything, just bringing the knees up. Okay, so we're going to do a brief version of eagle. So if you take both your arms out in front of you, and then you take your right arm over your left arm so that your upper arms are crossed. Bend your elbows and just bring the back of your hands together. Yeah, so I've got a right arm over my left, elbows kind of inside the other hand. And then from here, just see if you can cross your leg and do the leg movement slightly. So we're just going to hold it for a second and come out of it more like a dancing eagle. So I'm just going to cross over, sit down, come up, cross over, sit down. Not come up very well. So just find your own timing to do a little bit of a dance from side to side. It's my tricky side. Side, now it's going to become tricky. So just a dance, a dance. So it might take a little time to get into it. So give yourself time. One more each side. And fold the arms. So we could have changed the arms over as well. So we could have done alternate. We'll probably might do that next week. So just finishing on a few flying stalks as we did near the beginning. So let the arms flow, let the knee lift. Let the arms flow, let the knee lift as we alternate between. So as we know, a lot of these kind of balancing things are focusing, because if we don't focus, we fall over. And all the time we're trying to find some stability, some strength, an ability to flow, an ability to hold, an ability to kind of change the rhythm if we can. So we don't get stuck in one rhythm. And some will help us soften, like this one. Some will clearly require much more strength and stability. So pausing there, and we'll finish there. So thank you for joining. That's week 5 done. One more week to complete the whole sequence, if you like, the whole series, and we're done. So thank you for joining. Have a super week, and I'll be back same time, same place. See you next week. Bye for now.